Today I explain top 5 cruel queen in history. Let's go to watch full video. Throughout history, behind the walls of glittering palaces and golden thrones, some queens ruled not with grace, but with fear. The names echo across centuries, wrapped in blood, betrayal, and terror. Today, we step into the shadows of history to uncover the top 5 cruel queens, women whose reigns were carved not in glory, but in brutality. 1. Queen Ranavalona I, the Mad Queen of Madagascar. In the early 19th century, Madagascar trembled under the iron rule of Queen Ranavalona I. When she took the throne, she vowed to protect her kingdom from foreign influence, by any means necessary. And she meant any means. Ranavalona believed that every outsider was a threat, every advisor a spy, and every whisper a conspiracy. Thousands of her own people were forced into impossible labor, carrying stones across mountains, building massive palaces, and wading through swamps filled with disease. If someone disobeyed, they disappeared. But her most terrifying legacy was the Tangena ordeal, a trial where the accused was forced to eat a poison nut. If they survived, they were innocent. If they died, guilty. Under her reign, hundreds of thousands perished. Yet she remained untouchable, watching from her throne as fear swallowed her kingdom whole. For 33 years, the island lived in darkness under the queen who believed that cruelty was the only way to rule. 2. Queen Wu Zetian, the ruthless Empress of China. China's only female emperor, Wu Zetian, rose to power through brilliance, ambition, and ruthless destruction of anyone blocking her path. She began her life as a concubine but refused to remain in the shadows. Wu Zetian used intelligence, strategy, and sharp political instincts to climb higher and higher. But with every step, she removed another obstacle. Legend says she strangled her own infant daughter just to frame the empress and take her place. Ministers who opposed her mysteriously vanished. Generals who questioned her authority were publicly executed. When she finally became China's ruler, she created a secret police, spies who lurked in the darkness, listening for treasonous whispers. Anyone suspected of disloyalty was tortured or killed, their families destroyed. Yet despite her cruelty, she transformed China with major reforms, strengthened the empire, and expanded its borders. She proved that a woman could rule an empire, but she also proved how far she would go to keep that power. 3. Queen Mary I, Bloody Mary, of England. England, 1553. The smoke of political chaos hung in the air when Mary Tudor inherited the throne. Her mission: restore Catholicism after the Protestant reforms of her father and brother. But Mary did not believe in gentle persuasion. She believed in fire. Determined to crush Protestant influence, she ordered mass burnings of religious leaders, scholars, and common citizens who refused to convert. Over 280 people were tied to stakes, flames rising as crowds watched in horror. Some prayed, some screamed, some sang until the fire silenced them. Mary believed each burning saved England's soul, but instead, it earned her a name that would haunt her forever. Bloody Mary. Her reign was short, but her legacy became legend. A queen whose devotion turned into a nightmare. 4. Queen Isabella I of Castile, Iron Queen behind the Inquisition. To some, Queen Isabella I is remembered as the monarch who funded Christopher Columbus. But behind the celebrated history lies a darker truth, one forged in cold, calculated cruelty. Under her rule, the Spanish Inquisition reached its brutal peak. Isabella believed her kingdom must be religiously pure. Jews, Muslims, and converted Christians were all targets. Torture chambers filled with screams as people were stretched, burned, crushed, or locked in dungeons. Families were torn apart. Generations were wiped out. Those who refused to convert were forced to flee their homeland. Many died on the journey. Isabella stood firm, convinced she was serving God. But the horrors carried out under her crown painted her legacy not with devotion, but with suffering. 5. Queen Catherine de' Medici, the Black Queen of France. Elegant, intelligent, and feared by all, Catherine de' Medici ruled France from the shadows, using poison, manipulation, and political schemes to keep control during an era of chaos. She adored her children, but she would destroy nations to protect their power. Catherine's court was whispered to be full of poisoners, alchemists, astrologers, and spies. Servants carried hidden daggers. Cups were tested before drinking. No one trusted anyone. Her most infamous act, the Saint Bartholomew's Day Massacre. Under her influence, thousands of Protestants were hunted and murdered in the streets of Paris. Families fled their burning homes as soldiers stormed through the night. Blood pooled in the alleys. The river ran red. While France burned, Catherine watched from her palace window, expression cold, unmoved. History would never forget the queen whose ambition tasted like blood. 5 queens. 5 reigns carved in fear. From Madagascar to China, from England to France, these rulers proved that cruelty has no gender. Their crowns were symbols of power, but their stories became warnings. History remembers kings for their wars, but queens, history remembers their shadows.